This is the last bartender. I'm making a Chartreuse Swizzle. I say that 10 times fast. A Chartreuse Swizzle. This is a drink that, it's a riff obviously on a rum swizzle, which is a very old drink. Think colonial times. Well, not colonial times because Velvet Falernum wasn't around then. But someone came up with it. I forget what the guy's name is. It was in San Francisco in 2002, I believe. But I gotta take part credit for coming up with this bad boy. Not me, but my generation. Because what you have is lime juice, pineapple. I actually juiced a pineapple. I couldn't find pineapple juice in a can, and there was a pineapple. It's gonna be real good, but it was a little more work than it was worth. But back in the 80s, there was a drink called a swamp water, and that was green chartreuse and pineapple juice. And you put those two together and you can see why it's called a swamp water. The only other things that you add is a little bit of lime juice, a little bit of Velvet Falernum. And yeah, that's it. So we're gonna get right into it. It does take crushed ice, so I am gonna be using my hands touching the ice, which is something you will not be able to do anymore since COVID. And it's always been a pet peeve of mine to see people doing that cupping thing to let the ice go flying. It's a conversation starter, as Dale DeGroff would say. So just don't do that anymore. You're not going to be able to do that anymore. But you unfortunately, with mint juleps and anything that's got crushed ice in it, you really do have to do that. Okay, so the ingredients are an ounce of pineapple juice, 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, fresh lime juice, 1/2 ounce of Velvet Falernum, and 1.5 ounces of chartreuse. And you could build this thing straight in the glass because it's a swizzle. I do not have a swizzle stick, but these things, they sort of work. It's got the little, you know, the swizzle stick actually has the little, looks like bird feed on it. But you can put a little ice in and give it one of those, and it, you know, it works well enough. Okay, so let's start with our 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, an ounce of fresh pineapple juice. I juiced a whole pineapple. That's what I got. Anyway, okay, full ounce. All right, that's this bad boy to the top. And then a 1/2 ounce of Velvet Falernum. Velvet Falernum, spices, lime juice, and rum. It's one of those kind of Christmassy almost tasting thing. It's used in a lot of rum-based tiki drinks and stuff like that. Not too much because it's powerful stuff. Not powerful alcohol-wise, but powerful flavor-wise. All right, then we're going to put 1.5 ounces green chartreuse. I don't know if I can get her open. I love this stuff. Just drink it straight. My green chartreuse with the holy hand grenade. You count to 3, not 4, no 5, but 3. Yeah, Monty Python fans will get a kick out of that. All right, so we do 1.5 ounces. And this stuff is what, like 130 proof? And there was a little scare with the COVID thing because there's only a couple of Carthusian monks. Carthusian? I can't remember. It's a couple of French monks who have the complete recipe. And if one of them dies, I think the whole recipe is gone forever. So I remember I'm reading a story, I think in Liquor Magazine, about how they were like making sure that the recipe was safe. Because one of these guys got it and died. Bye-bye chartreuse. Okay, so when you do a swizzle, you take your crushed ice and you just pour a bit in, and then you go ahead and if you have the swizzle stick, you swizzle. What we're gonna do is you bring it up and down so you get the thing, and you know what, you can just stir it, it's okay. And the dilution is real important here, so that's why you wanna make sure that you're actually giving this part an attempt. And then you just pack it in. I got a couple of chunks of ice in here I wanna use because we want this thing all the way up. And the only thing I'm not gonna do, I'm gonna get fancy with my mint, but I am not going to do the nutmeg, which you really should do because it's really good with the velvet falernum. So this is the part you're not going to be able to do anymore, is do that big, whoa, we're overflowing, that big top on it like that. Okay. And we've got a little bit of a mess, but that's all right. And then you just, boom. And I've got some fresh mint here. Give it a little pop. And there you have it. A Chartreuse Swizzle. And I'm not good at making these crushed ice drinks. As you can see, I'm overflowing a little bit, but that's all right. Let's give it a taste. Oh, it's great. Ooh, yeah, you really get the chartreuse really goes well with all this stuff. The chartreuse and the spices in the velvet falernum, the sweetness of the lime and of the pineapple juice. It's just amazing. It's such a good drink. Oh, really, really tasty. So treat yourself, make yourself a Chartreuse Swizzle. And thanks to whoever the guy's name is for putting all this stuff together, because yeah, swamp water was really pretty disgusting, and this is this is awesome. All right, so welcome me back. This is the last bartender I haven't done a video in a while. So Chartreuse Swizzle, happy drinking.